Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the official closing ceremony of Origin's First Irish Festival 2021. In any other year, we would all be gathered together at Rosie O'Grady's in Midtown Manhattan for the annual Festival Awards ceremony, an event that celebrates all the wonderful artists involved in the festival and their work. And though this year we will be missing the in-person festivities, there is still much to celebrate until we can safely come together again.
This year's festival truly is the sum of all its parts. We've been delighted to have the unending support of the Consulate General of Ireland to New York, Kieran Madden, and all of the staff at the Consulate in promoting this year's Origin First Irish Festival. Here's a recap of Consul General Madden's opening remarks.
I'm delighted to be part of the launch of the 13th Origin First Irish Festival. Like so many things over the last 12 months, it's not the festival we hoped for, but I know nonetheless it'll be great. Before going further, I want to say a big thank you to George Heslin, who served for so long as the director of the festival and of course of Origin Theatre, and was a great servant to Irish theatre and European theatre here in the city. I also want to wish all the best to this year's festival co-curators, the wonderful actors Sarah Street and Mick Malamphy. The fact they're from my own hometown of Cork City isn't the only reason they will succeed, but it doesn't hurt all the same. Mick, Sarah and George have all had behind them the steady hand of Origin's chairperson Carletta Downs, and I want to thank you also, Carletta. That brings me to the festival programme. I don't have time to go through all the highlights of the programme here, nor would I do them justice, but I might touch on just a few. It's great to see Fishamble Theatre Company back in New York, even virtually. Every year, after the darkness of December, Fishamble come to the First Irish Festival with a bit of brilliance that lights up our January. Welcome back. It's also wonderful to see Lyric Theatre from Belfast participating. Like so many others, they had big plans for 2020 in New York which weren't to be because of the pandemic. So it's great to see you here. I have to give a special shout out to Larry Kerwin. In his Black 47 days and my J1 visa days, more than 25 years ago, Larry was my boss. And Larry will be talking with Mick Maloney about Irish songwriters in Tin Pan Alley. And coming back to the theme of Cork, I'm looking forward to the documentary about the burning of Cork City during Ireland's War of Independence by the always thoughtful and insightful Conal Creedon. I hope it's not invidious to single out some elements of the programme. I'm looking forward to all of it, and I hope all of you are also. Origin's First Irish Festival is never just about what happens in the year in which it takes place. It's also about the legacy it leaves. The artists, the actors, directors and writers it introduces to New York City, and the artists it introduces to each other. This year will be different. We won't have those soft contacts. We won't have the launch party here in the Consulate. We won't have the wonderful award ceremony in Rosie O'Grady's. But nonetheless, I know it will leave a wonderful legacy. After a tough year for all, I think, but especially for artists, with so many outlets closed down, it is fantastic to have this festival at the beginning of the year and remind us that we have a better year ahead. Thank you.
When my co-curator Michael Malamphy and I were first charged with creating an entirely virtual version of the much beloved First Irish Festival, our mission was to bring the exciting theatrical content that the festival is justifiably known for, as well as expand the scope of the content to reach a broader at-home audience, thus making this year's festival a truly global event. This year's festival contributors have been stationed all over the world, from here in our home base of New York, to LA, London, Cork, Dublin, Wexford, Belfast, and even Bangkok. This year, we have showcased the work of 30 writers, 76 actors, as well as many contributions from important cultural voices, activists, and change makers. The aim was to elevate and celebrate artists at a time that has been so devastating to our community, as well as give everyone watching at home a light in the dark and hope for the coming year ahead. We'd like to thank everyone who tuned in and supported us. We couldn't have done it without you. Here is a look at what a few of you had to say about what you saw.
Hilarious, heartwarming, and informative.
It was really touching, moving, and inspiring.
Ridiculous, hilarious, thought-provoking.
Thought-provoking, inspiring, hopeful.
Entertaining, funny, and thought-provoking.
Thought-provoking,
mind-boggling and eye-opening. But I think that's 6 words.
It was really exciting to see people making stuff in the pandemic and to be reminded that there is a whole artistic community out there that's still doing what they do.
We are just so fortunate as New Yorkers to be able to experience such amazing contemporary Irish playwrights during this crazy time.
So much good work. It's really exciting.
My favorite part was the panel discussions and the interactive events and everything I learned about Ireland.
It was so amazing to see so many artists involved in such a great project.
A festival like this is one of those events that makes you really want to go to Ireland.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you look great. Just go ahead. I loved everything. It was brilliant. All the shows. Very realistic too.
My standout production in the festival so far is definitely Rory Duffy's brilliant and harrowing Brexit documentary A Fragile Peace. It's beautifully shot, succinctly told, and ultimately a marvellous accomplishment in filmmaking.
I just wanted to say a word of congratulations to Origin's First Irish Festival's presentation of Rory Duffy's A Fragile Peace. This absolutely superb film is informative and touching and incredibly relevant to today. Congratulations to everyone involved.
Fabulous new works. There is hope.
And now it is with great pleasure that I introduce Origin board member Andrea Hawhian.
Good evening, my name is Andrea Hawhian. I have been a proud board member at Origin for almost 10 years. On behalf of my fellow board members, I would like to thank you all for attending and viewing this year's online Origin First Irish Festival. I think we can all agree it was a festival like no other and one of the most challenging years ever. Origin First Irish Festival has become a vital platform on the New York cultural calendar for Irish artists. This year we had approximately 300 artists involved from multiple organisations across New York, the island of Ireland and the US. The board at Origin has always believed in the power of cultural partnerships, and First Irish continues to be a pioneering example of what it means to unite under one banner. The board of Origin would like to thank our many sponsors who have stood by us this year, including the Irish Government and the Consulate General in New York. I would especially like to thank Sarah and Michael for their fine curatorial work and the broad spectrum of artistry they brought to fruition this year. We are so grateful for their vision, energy and new ideas. I want to congratulate the 3 winners of this year's awards. All are so richly deserved, and indeed well done to all the participants. Just creating work in these very challenging times is a winning achievement in itself. Sadly this year, Origin lost a very dear friend, Norman Houston, former director of the Northern Ireland Bureau in Washington, DC. Norman was one of the first people to believe in and offer financial support for the establishment of First Irish. Norman always believed in the unifying power of culture and how important it is for us to celebrate and share stories. As we finish the 13th year of our festival, our thoughts are with Norman's family and loved ones. Once our lives return to normal, we look forward to welcoming you back to enjoy Origin's pioneering programs. Thank you for your support and your belief in Origin. In the meantime, be safe, be well, good night.
Every year we gather across the Big Apple to celebrate our playwrights and artists. Indeed, the festival itself is a celebration of our culture as storytellers. Many's a festival has culminated in a wonderful night looking back on the work of so many with pride. This year, we are forced to reflect from our homes. It is in the spirit of reflecting and celebrating the contributions of artists to the festival and the communities that they serve that annually Origin presents the Barbara Dowling Spirit of the Festival Award. Barbara Dowling herself was a champion of everything that Origin Theatre Company stands for. She truly believed in the power of art and culture. Sadly, she is no longer with us, but we are honoured to keep her spirit alive in presenting this year's award in her memory. This year, the award is being presented to one individual and 2 organisations. It gives me great pleasure to announce the first recipient, Turlough McConnell, for his extraordinary commitment to the festival and his ability to bring our past to light through unique productions.
Thank you for this beautiful award. It's an incredible honour and very humbling to get this. My thanks, of course, to the Origin Theatre Board for running the First Irish Festival, to the co-curators, Mick and Sarah, for doing a phenomenal job, to my great friend, George Heslin, Executive Director at the New York Irish Center, and Stephen Long as Director of Arts and Culture there. They say on the award that it's for bringing the past into light. Well, what a privilege it was for me to present the American premiere of a wonderful film made 40 years ago, and on such a terrific topic as the tour that John Millington Synge and Jack Yates made to Connemara in 1905. It was a pleasure to have the filmmaker Margie Kinmoth and Professor Christine Keneally, historian, founder of the Ireland's Great Hunger Institute, and Cormac O'Malley, collector and historian, on our conversation, which was part of the program. You know, the thing about the festival is that it's not just about the past. It's not about, you know, delving into our history and our culture, but it's really about the present, and it's also about the future, bringing those all together. So to the festival organizers, I say thank you for the award, but really thank you for doing the festival. It's such a great, great service to Ireland and to the United States.
It is both a pleasure and an honour to present Black and Irish with our second Spirit of the Festival Award in recognition of their efforts to the cause of inclusion and racial equality on the island of Ireland. Congratulations. Thanks for being part of this journey with us on First Irish 2021.
Hi, it's Leon, Bonnie and Femi here from the Black and Irish team. We just want to say a massive thank you to the Origin First Irish Festival for awarding us the Barbara Dowling Spirit of the Festival Award.
It was a fantastic experience for us to participate in the festival, and we really enjoyed contributing to the festival this year in its current form. And we just want to thank Origin for recognizing the work that we do this year.
And just lastly, I just want to say a big massive thank you to everyone else on the Black and Irish team, such as Pierre, Amanda, Eric and the wider group, for supporting us, along with everyone else that's been backing us on what we do from the very get-go. Thank you so much, guys. Much love.
Thank you.
I'm thrilled to announce About Face Ireland as the recipients of the third and final Spirit of the Festival Award for their collaborative work to bring artists together and fostering new forms of creativity during the pandemic 2020-2021. Congratulations, Paul, Anna, and everyone at About Face Ireland.
This is so wonderful. We are honoured, humbled, delighted to receive this award. Thank you, Origin First Irish Festival, and thanks to Mick, Sarah, George, and everyone on the Origin team.
Yeah, Transatlantic Tales was a project that involved a great number of people. It was a joy to produce and to be a part of. And I don't have time to thank every single one and yes, name everyone individually. And I promised I'd be succinct. So I'm just going to say huge holler and thank you to the very talented cast of 17, to the amazing 8 playwrights, to the production team of 7 with their amazing skills. Like, how did you make Zoom work like that? I don't know, thank you. To the Civic Theatre in Tala, who was the theatre where we first produced it, or through which we first produced it, and who also are our home as a theatre company in residence. To our advisory team, thank you. And to our friends at Tangent Theatre Company in upstate New York, who in their support on this project. And of course to the About Face team, because amazing human beings, and obviously they are the only way that we can get any of this done and to bring these stories to life. So thank you, Noni, Charlie, Alan, and Tara, thank you. And of course, you. Thank you so much to all of our supporters and the audiences who came out to see these stories in this new format, and who were on board and really were able to experience the theater in it for what it was. So thank you.
Yeah, this award's really meaningful to us. Transatlantic Tales came together last summer when a show that we were really excited to do had to be postponed due to COVID. But thankfully, this actually meant it became an even bigger project. You know what I mean? We wanted to still work with this cast, this writer, these designers, but now we've got to bring this bunch of Irish actors together with actors in the States and with some of our favorite playwrights from around the world. And one thing we've definitely seen, I think, this year is that there's a deep need for theatre artists to have creative opportunity and community. So to receive the Barbara Dowling Spirit of the Festival Award is really encouraging for us at About Face as we try to continue to dream big in terms of the projects that we're going to pursue. So thank you so much.
Yeah, huge thank you. And congratulations to all the winners and all the participants in the festival.
Origin First Irish would be absolutely nothing without you, our audience. You're registering for events and watching and listening to the wonderful plays, films, documentaries, and panel discussions is what has made this year's festival such a success. So from Sarah and I, thank you. We also must thank our amazing sponsors whose support we are so grateful for more now than ever, especially in such uncertain times. To the Government of Ireland, the Irish Consulate in New York Culture, the New York City Council, the Ireland Funds, the Era Society of Boston, Mutual of America, Goldman Sachs, Culture Ireland, Virginia Wellington and Cabot Foundation, McVicker and Higginbottom, Bloom's Tavern, and Tourism Ireland, thank you for your support.
Let's get back to Ireland. Back to the land you call home, the place where it all began. Back to laughing with family and making new friends. Back to losing track of time and back to showing how it's done. Or maybe how it's not. So sit tight, because we're rolling out the green carpet, and when the time is right, an especially warm welcome awaits you on the island of Ireland.
We look forward to working with you all again next year. I'd also like to take a moment to thank my fiancée, Jessica DeLucia, for your unending support in all of my endeavours, and especially throughout this year's festival. Lastly, I have to give the biggest thank you and virtual high five to my fellow Corkonian co-curator and dear friend, Miss Sarah Street. You are always a joy to work with, and your vision, perseverance and talents are truly the foundation that this year's festival was built upon. Thanks, pal.
I would like to second Michael in thanking all of our incredible and generous festival sponsors, as well as the various Irish and Irish American organisations for their continued support. And on behalf of both Michael and I would like to thank the one and only George Heslin and the wonderful board of Origin for entrusting us both with such an undertaking. We would also like to thank the brilliant and tireless staff at Origin. General Manager Uta Schmidt-Keys, Press Rep Beck Lee, Technical Director Taj Lewis, Graphic Designer Leanne Ritchie, Website Coordinator Tiffany Peach, and Social Media Team Stephen Tate and Tate Theatrics and Connor Delves. I would also like to say a very special thank you to my inimitable co-curator, colleague, and dear friend, Michael Malamphy, without whose unwavering positivity, tenacity, and incredible hard work, I simply couldn't have done this. Thank you. And thank you to our audience for tuning in and making all of it worthwhile.
And now, folks, we have to bid you all slán leat until next year. Here's a beautiful and poignant collection of photos of New York City taken over the past year by our good friend and official festival photographer, Mr. James Higgins. Thank you.
Ireland.